YouTubers, Grimmy here, and today we're taking a look at Bandai Japan's D-arts Mewtwo. And this is one I've been waiting for a while. As you can see, he comes in this nice little box with a nice illustration of Mewtwo, actually done in monochrome with a purple eye. You got a clear view of the figure inside, at least most of it, and a little sticker signifying that Mew is also included with this figure, which is pretty nice. This side is just a little bit more decoration. This side just continues that front page illustration, and the top is nothing really great, but you know, it's still nice. And on the back we got this nice clear image of various poses you can get Mewtwo into, and the fact that he actually includes a figure stand, which is great. But anyway, let's get this guy out of the package and see how he looks. Okay, now that we got Mewtwo and Mew opened up and out of their packaging, you can see they come together in a nice little set. That figure stand has arms for both Mew and Mewtwo, which is very helpful. And the stands are articulated, so you can pose them, get them in the position you need, and use them to help get your figures in the position you need them to be in, which is pretty nice. We'll take a look at Mew real quick. He's just a little static figure, pretty small, you know, nothing gigantic. Bit smaller than what we've gotten from like Tomy or Bandai, which is pretty nice. Oh, previously from Bandai, I guess I should say. And then Mewtwo's is basically a clip on the same kind of hinge. So you got plenty of articulation on it. And that's good because unless you have the tail firmly on the ground, Mewtwo can't stand on his own because of the way his feet are designed. That's more like the Pokémon game's fault rather than the figures. But yeah, that's something to look out for. Another nice feature of the stand is that these arms are actually removable from the stand, and you actually have 4 points on the stand to actually put the hands into, or the arms into. They just and the excess areas have these little plugs into them that come in from the bottom, so you don't have to have these big holes in it if you don't want to, which is a nice touch and gives you plenty of options for display, like say if you want Mewtwo and Mew to face off against each other. So you can actually have them do that. Which is a nice touch. But enough of the stand and Mew, let's get to the main course, Mewtwo himself. And Mewtwo is quite an impressive figure. As you can see, he's painted up to match his anime appearances, which is perfect. I always liked how he looked in that thing. As you can tell, he does have that little bit of a beak face. But it's cool, I like it. nice paint detailing on the face. See, there's a little bit of shading around the eyebrows in the middle of the face, and his eyes are very well done. I mean, he is definitely an awesome looking figure. Paint job all over is done well with this very pale purple with darker shades airbrushed in here and there, and that darker purple tail, which is done very well. So yeah, it's a pretty nice setup. For articulation, he has a lot of it. Like most D-arts and Fig-arts, he has a ball joint at the head and a ball joint at the neck. So you can get a nice wide range of motion. He also, the way this is designed, this little spinal cord actually just plugs right into the head. Doesn't actually peg into anything. It just sits in there, and it's made of soft plastic, so it can actually move without fear of actually breaking. Okay, but he does have a ball joint at the chest, so he can do his little ab crunches, move, and rock all around. He's pretty good. Has ball-like joints at the shoulders. He has a bicep swivel. Pretty nice. Double jointed elbows. Ball joint at the wrist, and actually ball joints at the fingers. Might have been overkill to put the ball joints on the fingers, but yeah, I can let it slide. He has a more restricted joint at the waist, so you can do some swivels there. Forward, back on the thighs or the hips, and that, since they're D-arts, they actually have that movable joint in there to get wider poses. Does have a foot pivot, no actual knees to speak of, but he does have a foot pivot here, and it goes left and right, ankle tilt. And he has toe articulation, which is mostly just a swivel, but there is a little bit of forward back wiggle there. And then we get to the tail. This is where a lot of the articulation is. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 articulation points in the tail alone. As you can see, it really gets a nice fluid movement with those joints. This is only working with 9 of them too. This bigger one is a bit stiffer, but it's still good. But yeah, you can get a nice range of motion out of this tail. Sometimes it feels a little loose, but like, it's definitely fluffy. If you whip them around, you'll definitely whip something with it. But it's a very nicely articulated tail, and I really do like it. And if you do set it down, you can actually use it to stand him up, although that's not really a whole lot of fun. Now, For added accessories, we pretty much went through most of it, but he does have one interchangeable hand, and that hand is actually designed to hold his Shadow Ball effect piece, which is a bit more 2D than I like. Well, it's possible to get a decent pose of him holding it, I guess. Now the only difference between the hand holding the Shadow Ball and the regular hand is that there's a peg to peg the Shadow Ball into, which I will show you right now. As you can see, there's a little peg on the hand, and there's a little hole at the bottom of the Shadow Ball, which is just, I'm sure I don't have to explain any further. But since we're on the Shadow Ball itself, it's nice, it's very well detailed, very well painted, but it's a little bit 2D. I mean, this is more like a two-dimensional piece in a 3D world, so I can't really say it's the best feature Mewtwo has going for him. But still an added accessory, so not a total loss. But I think it's time we get Mewtwo in for a couple of quick comparisons. Starting with a couple Smash Brothers mates, being Samus Aran and Link. Let's see, we'll get Link up a little closer. As you can see, Mewtwo actually scales pretty well with these two. He's definitely shorter than Link and Samus both, but he definitely looks like he could go with them. Which is great because I've pretty much bought Mewtwo to be a Smash Brothers character. So it's nice to have him in that set. For other D-arts figures, we got Mega Man and Mega Man X, and again, those go together pretty well, so if you got a general video game shelf, Mewtwo will fit in just fine. And just for fun, let's bring in a Pikachu. Yeah. Couldn't do a Pokemon review without him, could we? Yeah. I mean, even that goes well with Mewtwo. So I definitely would recommend him for any video game character collector. He will fit in just fine. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this review, and I will see you next time. Take care, bye-bye, and have fun.